few words about new Nikon Z6 Mark III. What do I think? Well, first of all, you can find specs. I will post the link in description area. Basically it's on imaging.nikon.com. It has like specs, and you can even pre-order. From what I remember, you can pre-order. Anyway, what can I say? Well, like I said before, I'm looking at AI for autofocusing. So like, let's say Sony A6700 or like A7C2, A7CR, I think Canon R3. So basically there are some cameras with AI autofocus. Honestly, they do say about improvements, but I don't really see they really state about AI. So this camera has 24.5 megapixels, ISO range from 100 to 64,000. This is processor X speed 7. Okay, so subject detection for 9 subject types. So to me this is kind of like AI for this. I assume it is used for low light recognition and helping with autofocus. 3D tracking, which is I consider is okay. 3D tracking is for focusing. Well, it has raw recording. Honestly, I think you see, it's not like Z8 or like Z9 megapixels, but this camera could be good for video, for low light. So even if somebody is saying about photography, I think honestly for photography I would still consider Z9 because of 45 megapixels. I did have cameras before with 24, 23, 20. That would be good for sport, I guess, not for photo shoot. For today's photo shoot I consider close to 50 megapixels or even 100. 20 megapixels, if you do zoom in like 3x on the screen, you'll see it's kind of too fuzzy. So 24 is for small print. I consider you cannot really think about big prints with it. Definitely not for posters. If you're thinking about posters, that's not a camera. Posters for restaurants, for events and stuff like that. Now, what I think good about this camera, if you have Apple computer, this camera full frame is offering that ProRes 422 HQ and ProRes RAW. So for Apple owners, for Final Cut Pro X editing software people, that would be a good camera. Another good camera would be like Lumix 5 Mark IIX. And there are few cameras on the market that allows you to have ProRes. I don't see inside of Canon ProRes, but right now look like Canon is working with Apple. I guess in the future Canon would have ProRes inside. Okay, so now it has 10 bit 265 which is kind of considered as modern way of, you know, the video. Now that one is, if I look at specs, it has Z mount Nikon, so you can still use F lenses if you have, but you need to have F to Z adapter. For people who like to shoot, let's say, wildlife or maybe even sport, like for own reasons, those Z lenses, telephoto, they would be too expensive, so it's okay to use older lenses with adapter. But again, this is 24 megapixels. You cannot crop too much. From my experience, if you crop 24 megapixels image, it will not look good on computer. It would not look good. Even if somebody is saying, oh, like for TV is like 12 megapixels is enough, I don't really believe in it. I believe it's better to put more and then let's process to 12 megapixels. Sometimes when you for instance shoot 4K and you go to 1080p, the image is looking better than if you shoot 1080p and then render to 1080p. So I actually believe it's okay to go over and then you render to less. The image overall look better. Okay, now, so to me, like if I would shoot surfers, and in general I don't like to use zoom lenses, so if I would shoot surfers with telephoto, it's very hard to be exact. Most likely it will not fill the frame or you will need to crop. It's very, from my experience, you cannot really run back and forth. Yeah, if you are standing close to the ocean and surfer is far away, you might need to go with 600 lens and it's not enough, then you need to crop. So this 24, I would go with Z9 for surfers, but for video I would consider this camera. So because for video you don't need a lot of megapixels. All this video processing is taking too much, and you have that rolling shutter and all that. Because rolling shutter, because you cannot process immediately, so it will process here and then later and later, then that's why you see the bend. So now this camera has partial sensor. This CMOS full frame sensor is like partially stacked. It's not completely stacked, but still it's better for rolling shutter than not stacked. So to me, and actually this camera in some sense look like Canon is doing something for less expensive cameras. It has like full frame 4K 60. That's what Canon is doing for less price cameras. So to me this is kind of in that range, plus a little bit of, you know, that stack sensor. Now it is 14-bit RAW, so it's not 16-bit. If you really want 16-bit, you probably need to consider like Fujifilm medium format. That would give 16-bit. Now what else can I say? It's good, it has CF Express Type B. I do like Sony A7C Mark II or CR, but like suppose good autofocus everything, but there is no CF Express Type B. So with that, I would say this is like good for raw recording, like Apple with ProRes, or for a lot of frames per second shooting. But again, you're gonna be shooting with 20 megapixels. You need to be very close, feel the frame very good. Otherwise, if you crop, it will not look good. What can I say? Well, from what I've seen, this camera can accept one of Nikon's the battery grip. So if you are thinking about photo shoot on a smaller scale, I would suggest to get that grip. There is grip right now available for this camera that you can buy. You don't need to wait for that. They have HDR. You need to test everything. HDR. See, they have focusing. I would go, if I would buy, I would try to focus inside when it's kind of dark and see how good there is in the dark conditions. Like I have a Siemens camera close to me. So when you want to focus on something, try to go to the darkest area and try to see if that will hunt or not. Because from my experience, many cameras, they will start hunting at night, like dark time or dark places. Yeah, it has that recognition, but still, I want to see clearly AI used for autofocus. I don't see that so far. To me, it's kind of affordable camera. This camera, it says somewhere between $2 grand to $2,500. So I don't expect from that camera to be like top of the line. I would say if you have Z9, don't try to sell and get this one. I would keep it. This is good, maybe backup camera, like if you don't have extra money for second Z9, this would be good backup camera in case of some problems. You need to grab something, so you have this one. I do like the fact it has ProRes, RAW and not RAW. So especially like if I would have Apple, let's say, studio computer, I would consider to shoot ProRes or even RAW and see how it is. I've seen how Apple ProRes looks like. It looks somewhat different than if you would shoot on like a normal camera shooting, That ProRes make look some other look to it. I don't know what exactly, but it has certain look. ProRes look is different. Now some people shoot ProRes with iPhone Pro. With iPhone Pro you can have ProRes. I don't think it's really HQ. It's some kind of phone version of ProRes. To me, that is a phone version. I don't think it's really a full version. Okay, so basically this camera has mic jack, and I think it has also phone jack. Some I've seen. So if you need phone jack, mic jack, check on it. So this is specs. I will post that in description area. I just copy and paste. Now, hold on. Now if you want to to pre-order. I believe you can pre-order. I've seen it somewhere. Okay, cameras. Okay. Cameras. What's going on? Consumer. Just give me some time because I need to find cameras. I've seen it. I've seen you can pre-order. You know, sometimes Canon look like, not Canon, Nikon. Sometimes Nikon look like they don't have time or this or that, because they have many things beside photographic cameras. Fujifilm is the same. So I live in Orange County, California. They have Fuji, some kind of Fujifilm scientific. I think it's called scientific. So that scientific is not dealing with cameras. So that's why sometimes they look like they have too many divisions and they don't have time for photographic cameras. Some of those, like Nikon too, they have microscopes. I've seen Nikon 100x the microscope. They do have different things, so they might be behind on making the newest up to market desire cameras. So let me see, I want to see somewhere I've seen it. Mirrorless, you can pre-order. It was okay, like this. Okay, 6.3. Okay, I think this one. You see, like this one. The payments is low 78, 33 a month. Different plans. Okay, now I've seen more. I've seen pre-order. I mean, if you don't like the B&H and all this, I honestly, if I have a chance to buy from directly from the site, I just buy from the site. Unless there is some kind of benefit to me. I don't see any special benefit to buy from New York store, especially with today's scam, counterfeit subjects and items. Okay, this one I will pause this too. So if there is no benefit to me, I don't care, I just buy from the company, avoiding risk of counterfeit items. So you see, pre-order now. I will pause this too, starting 2499.95, or you can use a plan. If you're qualified, you can use this plan. Now, talking about lenses, it might look strange. I was thinking about that for myself. In case of, if I have Apple, I might consider buying this because I like ProRes inside. Now, in case of lenses, what do I think? Okay, hold on. Mirrorless lenses. They have like 17 to something. That's what I would consider, I guess. Like this one. 17 to 28. It looks like Nikon increased or made better stabilization. It might be okay to use this lens without stabilization, so I'm looking at this one, 17 to 28. I would consider 20, 24. I don't really like zoom lenses. Well, maybe if you travel, one is 24 to 70, another one maybe 17 to 28. So 17 to 28 and 24 to 70. If you travel, maybe just two lenses. But anyway, I like primes. They have, well, it's okay if you really like this one, 28. But I can tell you, if you're gonna use stabilization digital, if you have digital and you want 28 millimeters look, you probably need to go with less. Like suppose this one, 24 to 24, 1.8. So because I know some people like documentary look and 28 millimeters look, but if you want stabilization, the best one most likely it will crop, so you would go with 24 mil or maybe 20 even if you do the calculation. So what other lenses I like? Well, I like this 35, I like 40, but again, if you have maximum stabilization, to get 40 you need to go probably with 35 because it will crop. Okay, what else I like? Well, I like this one, like 50, 1.2 or 85, 1.2 or 135. I think this one, I'm not sure. I don't think this is autofocus. One lens like that they have, it's not autofocus. So if you buy, make sure not every Nikon lens is autofocus. I think this is expensive, or maybe not this one. I think this autofocus, but the 7 grand, they have like for 7 grand some kind of I think it's like less than 1. It's like, I think this, okay, this is not autofocus. So if you buy, if you are first time buyer, or you are switching from one camera to another one, don't assume every lens of Nikon is autofocus. From what I know, this is not. That one probably is. So I would like this one. Well, for surfers I like probably 600 or this one. Even this okay, because surfers like, you know, the sunny weather, but to 400 sometimes maybe not enough, you need to crop. With Z9 is okay, with that camera I don't think so, but still they give good price compared to 15 grand, so it could be a good lens. But if you can make money, then you can step up. Anyway, teleconverters, I don't suggest 2x. 1.4 is okay. What else can I say? That camera doesn't have ND filters, so if you're thinking about cinematography, that is not really for cinematography. That is more like for photography and some videos. Now it might look strange, but it's true. I would consider to buy that camera and switch everything to crop sensor mode. If I do vlogging around the world, I would consider to switch and vlog everything in crop mode and get this lens, because Nikon is known as not the best one for this stabilization, but this lens is VR, so look like they improved up focus for that Z6 or whatever that camera is, but at the same time they didn't release any kind of wide angle VR lens. Yes, suppose you have flip out screen for vlogging, yes, but you need stabilization. And I don't know, Sony is kind of the same. Their lenses, like G Master lenses, they don't have stabilization for wide angle, but for vlogging you need to have stabilization. So basically, from what I've seen, you need to go with crop sensor lenses because they have stabilization. Sony has, like, I think 10 to whatever f4 with stabilization. Now in case of Nikon, I would need to go with this one. I would consider for vlogging. It doesn't cost much, it's only $300, but if you have this one in full frame, that is a huge lens. It's not really to walk around, but with this one I think it's okay. If it's daytime, it's okay. So I would put this one on that new body, I think it would be good. Interesting about that Z50. So Canon has R50, this one Z50. They kind of work with Canon in some sense. So if Canon has R6 Mark II flip out screen, and it has like full frame 4K 60, and now Nikon has too, and the same under that 6 kind of name. So I'm sometimes it looks like, in some sense it's actually good. So if you are not sure, okay, what Canon is doing for R6, okay, and then let me see what Nikon is doing for 6. Then they should have other cameras like that. It's a kind of level 6, level 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, I guess. Anyway, this is just my ideas. That's all I can say. Have a good time. Bye.